Premier, good news for Queensland, of course, that you're able to ease some of the restrictions, but the reality is it's Victoria dealing with a spike now. It could be Queensland in a month or so. Are you worried about complacency?
Well, we've said very clearly with the easing of our restrictions, we absolutely need people to keep up with the social distancing and also to that good hand hygiene, because what's happening in Victoria could happen in other parts of the country. So we're very happy that our easing of restrictions has been brought forward for stage 3 this Friday. So from lunchtime, people can go up to the bar and order a drink, or they can order their food. We're allowing more people into cafes and restaurants, to the surf clubs, to the RSLs, more people into stadiums, more people at homes and gatherings. Weddings can have 100 people as well, and families can sit together at churches, which I think has had a big impact, and also religious institutions. So
pretty controversial decision.
This is good for our economy.
Yeah, pretty controversial decision. Sorry to interrupt you, Premier. There was just a bit of a delay. And the lovely Queensland birds as well joining us. Controversial decision, though, to lock out Victorians.
Well, I don't think it's controversial. I think it's the tough measures that we had to take. We want people to enjoy coming to Queensland. We want them to spend money in our economy. The easing of stage 3 restrictions in Queensland is worth about $500 million a month. It's about up to 50,000 jobs just within Queensland. But we also know that our tourism operators have been hurting. So the rest of the country is welcome to come to Queensland. They have to fill out a border declaration stating very clearly they have not been to Victoria, any local government areas in Victoria, over the last 14 days. But there has been an incredible spike of cases in Victoria. This is a cautious approach, but I think it's definitely one that is supported by Queenslanders, and I understand now that the South Australian Premier may also be looking at taking these measures as well. We really want Victoria to get this under control, so we are sending our Deputy Chief Health Officer. I think we've got a call out for 30 nurses to go and help as well, and we wish them all the very best. And we've seen how New South Wales got on top of their outbreaks very quickly, and we hope that Victoria can do exactly the same. But until then, these strict measures will be in place for Victoria from Queensland and Queenslanders who go to Victoria and who are wishing to come back. So this Friday, lunchtime is the date. So if there are any Queenslanders that are holidaying at the moment in Victoria, they should make their way back to Queensland.
What's your long-term strategy,
We're urging
Premier?
Queenslanders not to go to Victoria. Sorry?
What's your long-term strategy, though? We used to talk about flattening the curve. Are you now aiming for elimination?
Well, the National Cabinet has made a decision about suppression because we know that these outbreaks can happen at any time. But what you have seen in a lot of states and territories around Australia is a great flattening of that curve. That is heartening news, but as we saw in New Zealand, they said that they had eliminated it, and then they had a couple of cases that have come in through from quarantine. So until we have a vaccine, I don't think this virus can be eliminated. But we have to live with the virus. We have to enter this new normal. And I'm very pleased that it's been, I think the World Health Organisation said it's 6 months since that we had the first reports of COVID. And we have in Queensland done a great job. All of Queenslanders should be very, very proud. But it also means that we've been able to ease our restrictions. And of course, we're ready at any time if there are any outbreaks to jump on them as quickly as possible. So every step is a cautious step, and every step is a worrying step, Lisa, from where I sit. And I have to take the advice of my Chief Health Officer, and that's exactly what I've done.
You had some sharp words for the PM yesterday, but I noticed Queensland Labor also put out a tweet suggesting that if the opposition leader had had her way, that Queensland would be flooded with Victorians. This, to me, seems to be a bit of political posturing as well ahead of October's election.
Look, I don't know about that tweet. That's unfortunate if that went out. In relation to the comments that I made, I think I said my piece yesterday. I had been silent for a month. I had been Queensland had been singled out by senior federal ministers on a constant basis, and South Australia and Tasmania were not pointed out. So it was disappointing.
All right, Premier, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Lisa.